Today in this video, I'm going to share you everything I experienced to this point in my life in Japan. This video is going to be a long one, so it is divided into 5 sections, which I will try to explain in brief. I'm a junior software engineer working on a Japanese startup. I'm currently living in central Tokyo and I graduated from a Senmongakko, which is a 2-year university in Japan. I'm living here for more than 5 years now and I did a year of Japanese school. I was here on my Kazoku Taizai visa or a dependent visa. So let's get into the first one. Getting started with Japanese. So in this video, I'm going to assume that you are a complete beginner. So here are some ways I started learning Japanese. You want to start with hiragana, katakana, then mix some vocabulary after them. A good place to start will be on YouTube. The one I recommend will be Japanese Pod 101. For me, it was the most effective way to learn beginner Japanese, and I would recommend you to subscribe to the newsletter as it gives you something new to learn every single day. So I'm going to assume again that most of you here are a student in Japan with a student visa. So you will be most likely be going to a 2 years of Japanese learning school. Here are some tips on what you want to do on a Japanese learning school. The first and the really important one will be always hang out with people outside your country of origin. I always see people being friends with their country of origin and use their language to communicate. I know it is an easier way to communicate in your native language, but this will just delay your progress in Japanese. The next really important tip would be making Japanese friends. It will be really difficult to make Japanese friend if you don't speak Japanese, but you can get Japanese friend at work. I would recommend working on places where there are a lot of Japanese people working, Japanese university student, high schoolers, basically on McDonald's, KFC or any fast food chain. Saying that, most of this job requires you to speak some conversational Japanese. But if you give a shot to go to an interview and show that you are really excited to work there, most of the time you will get the job. I used to work on KFC for almost 3.5 years and I had an amazing time over there. I made lots of friends. Most of my friends are from the work I did on KFC. And when I started working over there, I had literally no Japanese whatsoever. So on top of that, if you have someone who is working there already, recommendations are the best way to land the part-time job. So another useful tip would be immerse yourself with Japanese media. Listen to the news, listen to podcasts in Japanese. Even though you don't understand anything, just listen to it. And with enough hours spent on it, you'll be glad at the end to understand some words spoken throughout the podcast or the news. If you are not really into podcasts or like you don't understand any news on the television, a good place is anime. You can watch it with subtitles or not, or Japanese YouTube channel. There is a lot of interesting Japanese YouTube channels. Last but not the least is make sure to always attend the class. If you have your susekiritsu or the attendance below 90%, good luck finding a good university. Following these steps should improve your Japanese to have a normal conversation at work and school. But to be really fluent at the language, you need to put some extra work on it. So let's get into the second point, is finding a university. At the start of your second year in your Japanese school, you want to search for the university you want to study. Till this time, you should at least have a N3 JLPT, which won't be difficult if you did a little bit of preparation. A quick tip would be just attend the exam, do the questions you know, and just guess everything else. This will give you at least a passing score, and that's all you need to receive the certificate. The next step is finding a really good university. If you want to go for a 4 years university or a daigaku, you need at least an N2 in a JLPT. The chances of you getting into a 4 years university is really low than a 2-year university. For a 2-year university or a Senmongakko, you need to be careful to not fall in the trap of low admission fee. So basically there will be some Senmongakko which will have really low admission fee, but the chances of you getting a job after graduating from the university is really low. And another thing you want to be really careful is what kind of diploma are you trying to get. Let's say you want to be a software engineer, then you would need a diploma on web engineering or software engineering, something like that. If you got a diploma on information business, then most likely you are not going to get the visa for it. Just remember, landing a job does not really mean you get the visa for it. Quick recap would be always attend your uni classes, have your attendance as a secretary close to 100%, and if you have to take a leave, just tell your homeroom teacher and you will be fine. I've seen so many people not being able to apply for the visa due to a lower attendance, or worse, they land a job and they cannot apply for the visa because of the lower attendance. So I would really emphasize on attending your class. One of the biggest mistake everyone does is getting a part-time job at night because of the higher wage. I will tell you now, it is not worth it. I know the pay is high, but working every day at night and attending the class in the morning will just make your life a living hell. So the third point is preparing for the job interview. Till this point, you should already have a N2 JLPT, as it is really mandatory for most job interviews, and get some other qualification. In my case, I did Bunsho Design, Weibo Kaihachu, and Excel. It doesn't really matter what kind of qualification you get, as long as you can write something on the resume, it will increase the chances of you being called for the interview or not. A filled resume is always better than an empty one. Giving interviews in any language is always scary, but when you are giving an interview on a foreign language you cannot speak properly, it's gonna be a really difficult part. So I would recommend this YouTube channel called Hiro-san Channel. I'm going to leave a link on the description below. Just check it out. I learned a lot from this guy. He teaches about how to act on an interview, how to answer some questions, what are the best answers to some question. So basically you will get the feel of the interview beforehand. So finally, job hunting and internship. So when is the best time for job hunting? So the best time to start was yesterday. So as soon as you have a N2 JLPT and a well-written Japanese resume, you should start applying for a job as early as third year if you are in a Daigaku, a 4-year university, or at the end of the first year if you are on a Semmongakko, a 2-year university in Japan. I can't stress enough how many people will regret not starting early. I'm one of the victims over here. Some tips would be, get a teacher you are close with and ask them to check your resume. This will help you to find out some common mistakes and mistakes on the kanjis and whatnot. Practice your interviews with your friends, and if you don't have any, just practice alone while recording yourself. This helps you to gain confidence, and this will help you reflect on your way of saying things or like speaking or pronunciation. One of the important things on the resume you have to write is Jikopia. So this will take some time, but get some advice from your teacher and start writing it as early as you can. So basically, if you start early, your chances of getting internships and like job offers increases by a lot, as most of the people are not yet applying for the good job offers, which will give you a better shot at getting an interview. Another tip would be, if you can speak English, that is always a plus, as you can apply for foreign companies based in Japan. You can apply for like international companies like Google, Canon, Rakuten, and everything you can see. You will be surprised in the result. Just have some confidence and apply for the position on Google or Canon. I did the same thing. You might not get any reply from them, but it is worth a shot. So last but not the least is knowing your chances. This is really important for us to understand what are the chances of us getting a job as a foreigner. Most people get discouraged after 2 to 3 interview failures or worse, not getting any reply for the interview. The brutal truth is, getting a job in Japan is quite difficult even for a Japanese person, let alone a foreigner. So this is my take on this. An average Japanese university graduate will apply for 20 job offers and will only get replied back on 15th. And out of the 15 job interviews, how many do you think he will get an offer for? Take your time. The number is just 2. That's right, just 2. Out of 15, an average Japanese university graduate would only get 2 job offers. Now you can imagine your chances. Me personally, I applied for 13 job offers and got 2 offers back. I only got called for 7 interviews and got rejected on 5 of them and got 2 offers. On my part, I had some programming experience on my own, which made it a bit easier. Even if you don't have any experience on the job you're applying for, the chances of you getting job is really high when you are a fresh graduate, as most companies will love to get a fresh mind on the company. So to wrap it up, doesn't matter what stage you are in, but if you lay down a plan and work on it, living a normal quality life in Japan isn't that difficult. There will be a lot of ups and downs and a lot of failures, lot of blockage and all that. But at the end, if you go through your plan and practice your Japanese, practice your interviews and get advice from your friends, from your seniors and everything, you will land a job and you will be able to live a quality life in Japan. So let me know if you have any further questions. I will be glad to help you guys. So yeah, 見てくれてありがとう。